All right, let's take a peek at our next deck, which is while we're doing the redux, the revisits, the rehashes, and retunings. All right, so this deck I was really excited about. We did this one recently. However, I didn't have enough mythic wildcards to run a full play set at the time of Delneys, Streetwise, Lookout, and so my draws were a little inconsistent. Since then, I have come back in here. I've tweaked the mana base a little bit. I've added more Delneys. I've also gone down a few cards. As always, if you're watching this later on YouTube, then you can find the deck lists, and that's links to my untapped.gg profile, so you can follow along as the deck progresses and changes. And because we're never just building decks just to play them one time, we're building them because we want to play them a lot. So, as the meta changes or as we find different strategies, we can update these things and see if these little experiments are paying off. So, in the vein of experimentation, our lizard deck now runs bats because it's handy. I hate to get batted, but it's a tool. We're going to use it. For spot removal and artifact removal, we have a braid and get lost for enchantments and planeswalkers and other spot removal. This deck is really cool. Legion Ashes also, again, especially if we get a lot of multiple tokens at the same time. This is a wonderful card. Azora Line will bring back most things in our deck if we can pay for it and afford the life, which the life gain off of Deep Cavern Bat and Valley Rat Caller, which notably includes squirrels, bats, lizards, and rats. We don't have any rats in this deck, but we have all of the others. So, with the potential of all this, along with the damage that Hired Claw is dealing out whenever one or more lizard attacks, the damage that Iridescent Vine Lasher is dealing out with our landfalls, which we have sack lands for, although we're not running anything other than Fabled Passage, because this being a 3-color deck, we want to keep it as streamlined as possible to get out our Get Lost early, and our Delney is a game changer for this deck. This deck has so many triggers off of attacks that it's an ETBs on a few as well. So imagine, if you will, a turn 1 where we have Vine Lasher and or a Hired Claw in hand. In this deck, we're not looking to offspring Vine Lasher. It is just there as a lizard to count towards Valley Rot Caller, or later on Valley Flame Caller, or to just be a consistent source of damage as we're laying our lands down. So if we get either one of these down, we're getting damage in next turn because we're swinging with Hired Claw, or we're laying a land, hopefully Shuffler. Then we open up Get Lost, or we throw out a bat, take a look at our opponent's hand, figure out what we need to take out to keep our plan alive. We can also throw out a Valley Rot Collar for early menace if our opponent isn't aggro. That's always viable. It draws a lot of fire, so we have multiple copies, but it can keep our other combo pieces alive, which they won't be expecting the Delney, hopefully. But if you do turn 1 Hired Claw or Vine Lasher, you're guaranteed that 1 damage, which lets you do turn 2 Flame Gecko into another Flame Gecko, into another Flame Gecko, into another Flame Gecko, or Fireglass Mentor, or any of our 2-drops, if you see where I'm going here. So it's crazy how you can chain these together, or, turn around and play a Get Lost off of the last Flame Cash Gecko. It's not uncommon to put out 3 creatures on turn 2. That combined with Delney's ability to basically make everything unblockable on our board with the I mean, unless you start putting counters on Hired Claw, our opponent's going to have a hard time stopping this if we are getting in their hand and getting rid of the creatures and gaining life, and so we don't mind taking a few hits. We'll see what happens now that we've updated. In the form of recursion, we also, in addition to the Zora line, we have a Mudflat Village we're running. And yeah, our best mana base that we can cobble up. I like the Restless Fortress here. This is another source of life gain in case we get board wiped. It's good. So let's go. Let's see it. Let's see it in action. The lizard people. They've always been here. In the lizard folk town. Okay, we don't really want 2 Delneys in our opening hand, but this has potential. Alright, our opponent, okay, we all have found a fellow lizard fanatic. Let's do it. Alright, we take some damage. Tartarus. No, we're gonna take it. Don't do that. Okay, they got the Fireglass Mentor out. Should have played that maybe pre-combat. That way but then again, I have a habit of doing that and then not being able to play anything that I exile off of it, so maybe that's the correct move. Alright, well, next turn, we get down Delney, and maybe our opponent learns a thing about lizards and people working together in the government. I mean, in Magic the Gathering. Okay, well, they see the Delney, and then they see the other Delney, and maybe they're thinking about this. Okay, no blocks. We're good. It's fine. So what'd they get? A land and something they can't play? Yeah, see, that's the problem. It's cool. Alright, so let's get down Delney. They know about Delney. Let's show them what Delney can do. Alright, are you ready? They were ready. They killed Delney. Perhaps we should have thrown down the bat first. That was the game plan. Why didn't we listen to ourselves? Oh, we are getting torn apart. It's so painful. This is fine. We still have the power of the Flame Cash Gecko into Deep Cavern Bat. And what is our opponent holding back? Another Thoughtstalker Warlock. Let's stay on the offensive. No fear. I mean, they're at least 2 turns away from the Virtue. I think we can close it out before then. That's the thing that we saw before. Well, I don't know why it's hiding it from us. Like, we don't know what it is. Oh, wait. Well, no, I'm sorry. Yeah. Alright, so he's going to deal 3 damage to something. Okay, well, I think the correct answer here is take the hit. We're taking the hit. Opponent, we let you hit us. That's what you wanted to do. Come on, man. Yeah, what are you exiling? Oh, you got a Jasper Flint and a Scales. Nice. Well, you didn't cast it. So let's go with... yeah, we'll pay the ward. We don't need 3 damage coming out of nowhere. That's ridiculous. Yeah, see, now we can plan for it by attacking their face and gaining some life. Alright, come on. Okay, they got the Hired Claw. They're still 2 turns off of the Virtue. They're still 1 turn off of the Virtue. Damn it. Come on. Where is our other Delney? Where is our Hired Claw? Where is our Fireglass Mentor? Delney is fun with the bat, though. It lets you double raid their hand. Okay, well, they cannot pump Hired Claw, so that's got to go. And we'll trade with Fireglass. We can take out their Vine Lasher. Gain some life. No land. Hope not. Okay, come on. Alright, they have another Vine Lasher. And with Offspring. We are now on a 1 land clock. Never mind. We're on a 0 turn clock. Oh my goodness. The Mirror Lizard match. Well, maybe we got them thinking about Delney. I know I did when I first ran into him playing lizards. Or hanging out with lizards. It's a rather shady thing to do, Delney. Aiding and abetting all this lizard criming you're doing. I mean, they're taking cards out of people's hands, throwing fireballs right at your face. Not to mention, I mean, what's that Gev guy? If you're wondering why we don't have Gev in the deck, because it would make the creatures too big for Delney to care about. While I do like Gev in a regular Lizards deck, in this particular twist, it's actually more harmful than helpful. This is slow, but we are on the play. Maybe we draw a Plains next turn. Would be nice. This is also good because it gives us Menace and Looting, which might have helped us last game if we had had it. Okay, we did not get the thing. So let's go ahead and get our white source. Our opponent, Aluk 4 RT 2007. Looks like they're playing Rats. Or maybe this is... I have no idea anymore. Let's take a look. Alright. There's, okay. Well, it looks like maybe just Mercs. Is that what it is? Yeah. Or Outlaws, rather. Yeah, I guess we get rid of Murder for now. And let's get ourselves a second black source. Get in for some damage. Then we're off to the races, folks. We're doing it. Next turn we can Delney, or we can bat again. I think we're just gonna have to raid Jasper Flint, though. There's too many cards that they could hit off of our deck that would be disastrous for us. Not to mention, we want to continue being aggressive. and gaining life. Alright, so what they got left? The Outlaw's Fury, the Rakish Crew, and the Plunderer. Alright, they're digging here. Main phase, no less. Decided Outlaw's Fury's worth a treasure. There you go. Okay. And now, we shall see the glory that is doubled hired claw triggers. They found yet another Jasper Flint. Jasper Flint unfortunately cannot block any of this. Well, it could block the Flame Caller. No. Power 3 or greater, yeah. And power 2 or less, yeah. Okay, so let's go Legions to Ashes. Attack in. No, and they scoop it up. The lizard people giving a fair shake. All right. Well, I am excited to try this one on Ranked Wednesday tomorrow on the ladder. I think we can do all right. And especially with the addition of the extra Delneys, I think it is more consistent than ever. And yeah. So thank you for sticking with us here, showing off a little action on the Delney twist of lizards in Standard, and testing it out a little bit. I am Average Zen, and this is Average Zen Presents. And if you're following us on YouTube, you can check out the deck lists again in the bottom description area. I link to my untapped.gg. And yeah. If you're following us on Twitch and streaming this live, thank you so much. I see we have a viewer, and I do appreciate you hanging out with us and spending some time. And yeah.